Hi, everybody. It's good to see you all again, and I want to read a book to you about worms. I'm hoping you're getting outside a little bit and observing wonderful things. And of course, we have Gandalf back with us. Let's see what we got here. One day, when I was in Grandma's garden, Grandma dug up a slimy, slithery, wiggly worm. Yuck, I said. Throw it away. Throw it away? Grandma looked horrified. Would you throw away one of your friends? You can't be friends with a worm, I said. You can't even tell which end is which. Oh, Gandalf's. Yes, you can. Watch. Grandma put the worm down. It gave a kind of squirmy wriggle and disappeared really fast. Pointy end first. As the rounded end vanished, Grandma said, There goes its tail. I bent down to look, and I could see it had left a little tunnel. Where'd it go? I asked. Home, Grandma said. It's an earthworm. It lives underground. But what does it eat? Dirt? I want to know. It eats tiny, tiny stones and bits of dirt, Grandma told me. But worms eat other things, too, like rotting leaves, flowers, fruit, and dead insects. They especially like eating at night when it's cool. The stones and dirt help to grind everything up in the worm's stomach, and then the worm poops it back out. Hey, Graham, I think Gandalf likes his story. Grandma pointed at the flower bed. Look, can you see? I bent down and I saw what looked like a weird, long, curly worm made of dirt. That's worm poop, Grandma said. It's called a cast. You know when you recycle things? Well, worms do it too. There's still a lot of goodness left in things that worms eat, and when the goodness comes out again as poop, it helps plants to grow big and strong. And as the worm moves around, under and on top of the soil, the poop gets spread around the garden. That's why worms are my friends. Grandma gave me a thumbs up. And it's not just their poop that's good for plants. The tunnels they dig loosen the soil so roots can stretch out and air and rainwater can get in. Look at all the tunnels, guys. I don't know if you can see. Allowing all those roots to move around. But it's dangerous being a worm, Grandma said. I stared at her. Dangerous? I asked. She smiled at me. Lots and lots of animals think worms make the most delicious dinner. Birds love them, and so do moles, badgers, frogs, hedgehogs, and foxes. And even some slugs eat worms. And human beings accidentally slice through them with spades and spike them with forks. It's a tough life. Cutting them in half doesn't hurt them, Grandma, I said. They just turn into two worms that keep on growing. Grandma shook her head. Poor worms. Lots of people think that, but it's not true. She put her fork down. Time for a snack. Grandma had tea, and I had orange juice. Can I dig up a worm? I asked. If it rains, Grandma said, the worms will come up on their own. I took a cookie. What if it doesn't rain? Grandma winked at me. We'll use a watering can and pretend. I finished my cookie as fast as I could. Can we trick the worms now? So maybe you can do this in your own garden, right? Let's see what happens. Grandma filled the watering can and I watered the ground. Then I stood back. I didn't want worms chewing at my shoes. They only put their heads out, Grandma promised, and it'll be a while before they do. So there they are, watering the garden. Grandma was right. I had time to eat 2 more cookies before she said, Look! Wow, I said. I could just see the tip of a worm above the ground. Now watch this. Grandma stamped her foot and the worm disappeared. Did it see you? I asked. Grandma shook her head. Worms don't have eyes. They feel vibrations. And a thump like that means a hungry bird is landing, danger. So they quickly go back underground, right? So there. I don't know if you can see, but the worm's poking up, but then she stamps her foot and back the worm goes down. They can feel those vibrations. Grandma dug her fork in the ground. Up came lots of dirt and wriggle worms. She picked one up and washed it in the watering can. Mustn't drop it, she said. They can't swim. Grandma put the clean worm on some paper and held it near my ear. I could hear a tiny rustling noise. What's that? They're covered in little bristles, Grandma said. The bristles and their mothers help them move. Let's see if I can show this to you. So they're kind of little hairs that help them move through the dirt. I've got muscles too. I bent my arm so Grandma could see. If you've got so many muscles, she said, maybe you'd like to help me plant my sunflower seedlings. Okay, I agreed. And then I thought of something. When I go to school on Monday, I'm going to say that I've got lots of new friends. Good idea, Grandma said. But I said, I might not actually say they're worms. Well, everyone, that's the end of that book. Go find your own worms and be gentle with them. Take care, you guys.